Hello, coming live from our church here on Oakton Road in Mount Vernon. Today we're going to talk about the message that I spoke about on John chapter 21, verses 19 or 15 through 19. Again, what you guys are getting is a condensed version, not everything that we talked about today, just enough to hopefully give you what you need to feed you. So, without further ado, let's talk about today's verse. So today's verse comes from John chapter 21, verses 15 through 19. The version of the Bible that I used today was the NSRV. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" And he said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." Second time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him a third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." So I'll admit the first couple times that I was remembering this verse, I had the same question asked all three times. But if you realize that very first time Jesus had asked him, he asked him in a way that was all-encompassing. Again, our version of the Bible comes from Greek translations, and this is what the Greek word for agape, right, all-encompassing, comes from. So Jesus, the first time he's asking him, is asking, do you love me more than everything else? Do you love me more than your new tunic, your fishing boat? Do you love me? And of course, Simon Peter, who we hear in the earlier verses of John chapter 21, was excited to meet him, or excited for Jesus being there. So he tells him that he loves him, and Jesus tells him, "Feed my lambs." When Jesus is saying this, I believe that he's saying, look after those that cannot defend themselves, those that cannot feed themselves, those that are in need, the ill, the newborns, the young children. Look after them. Feed them. Right? That's the nourishment that we give. That's what we do. And the second time and the third time that Jesus asks, he asks in a little more intimate manner. It's what we call the brotherly love translation. So when he asks him, "Do you love me?" And he says, "Yes, I do." And Jesus says, "Tend my sheep." When we tend sheep, when we tend animals, we're making sure that they have a dry place, a welcoming place to live, to eat, shelter. And the third time, when Jesus asks, again, it's a little more intimate. And this time, Simon Peter says, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Expressing the fact that he loves him so much that he doesn't have to say a word about how much he loves Jesus. And that's when Jesus says, "Feed my sheep." Right? So I think that Jesus was not only speaking to Simon Peter, but he was also speaking to us. We have those that need, right? Those that can't take care of themselves. So we should take care of them. And that we should give them a place where they feel welcomed. If your church doesn't make you feel welcomed, then are we truly tending the lambs? Are we truly giving them a place where they feel welcomed? And the third time when Jesus is asking him and he says, "Feed my sheep," there are people that are hungry. There are a lot of people who we hear, we listen to the stories that we read, and they were brought to Jesus through somebody. My favorite story is Billy Graham, and he says that his relationship with Jesus came when he was walking by a revival tent with his friend. He doesn't remember who the speaker was, but he remembers the usher. How the usher made him feel welcomed, made him feel that he had a home. Later on, because if you notice, I got a couple dots there, Jesus tells Simon Peter that while he was carefree and he could do whatever he wanted, now that he's going to follow him, his life has direction. And he also tells Simon Peter that it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some trials. And it's not going to be the greatest thing when he's not going to die old. He's going to serve God and serve Jesus until his dying breath. There are times where we feel that we've done enough, or that, okay, I've done my 5-10 minutes on a Sunday. I've done it. That's not what Jesus is asking of Simon Peter. It's not what he's asking of us. He's asking that we incorporate the message that Jesus taught us about love, hope, and peace, that we find ways of spreading the word, the gospel, to those in need. Not forcing it down their throats, but giving them that place where they can feel comfortable, where they can feel more at ease, right? Let them have time. If you ever watch an animal, a stray, get picked up off the street and they're taken to a shelter, the first thing, they're not well trained, right? They're skittish. Sometimes people need just to feel welcomed, just to feel that, hey, it's okay if you want to just sit in here for a while, right? That's what we need to do. We need to feed God's people. We need to take care of them. That is all that Jesus was asking of Simon Peter. And I believe that's what he's asking us to do, is take care of those. So I thank you guys so much for listening as I spoke. May God bless each and every one of you. And until next time, God loves you. So does this guy. Until next time. Bye.